Hi guys, JJ here. Terrible weather outside, so I cannot go outside to do my usual slow motions, etc. video. And I'm gonna give a little bit of a class, class mode. Um, for a special trick that is not that hard, but there are some requirements. Okay, what we're gonna see today is the zero gravity aerial. Now the zero gravity aerial, for most people, that's probably this one, where you do zero gravity, so it feels like gravity is not involved, and your hand hovers around the nunchaku, left, right, doesn't matter. It's one of those tricks I like to do with left because, it just suits my left hand or my left arm. I think it's more of an arm movement really well. So when that happens, for example, as with temporals, then you choose to say like, you go to that selected club that is of tricks that is performed with the left side, That's at least how I do it. Good, that being said, so for me this is the zero gravity aerial, but inside out. There's also outside in. It's actually the one I learned first, so this one. So you give the idea that you can just let the nunchaku spin in the air, at his zone where you release it, while normally it should drop. Now, not that fast, obviously, but you're gonna do a sort of a counter movement to make sure that this nunchaku stays at the same spot. Okay, so let's go into the details of it. But before we're gonna do that, one more thing about requirements. For example, I used to have the nunchaku of the World Nunchaku Association. I think it's a great nunchaku, absolutely. I've been doing nunchaku, I think my first 4 or 5 years was just solidly with that nunchaku. A bit of a downside, even for a tall person as I am, because I'm 6'2", is that the sticks are 35 centimeters. I don't know that in inch, but 35 centimeters. And then you have a rope of 10, 11, 12, or even longer centimeters, which is a lot of width span, even for a big guy as me. So, although it's not impossible, obviously, but, with a little bit of shorter sticks, like with the ignites that I use, it goes just a little smoother, you don't want to have that extra risk on a trick that feels very comfortable as this one. Okay, good. So what we're gonna do to do that zero gravity mode, or to go to that zero gravity part, as I just call it, is to actually, before we're gonna release it, so we're gonna make some speed, and then right before we're gonna release it, we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna sort of abruptly stop to keep it in the same position. And then also we're gonna slightly, this goes very fast, it's very subtle, yet it's very powerful, just that little bit. We're gonna move our hands or our arm, just because it's a bit of in between what you do here, and we're gonna elevate that, okay? So this is gonna tell the nunchaku you can stay put, but you're also gonna go upwards, because you do that in the upcoming, what is it, like 0.4 second, the nunchaku will not spectacularly go down. This gives this zero gravity effect, as you have with other tricks as well. Okay, so outside in. Why do I call it outside in? Because we come from the outside to the inside. And with this one, it's the other way around. This one, I think, is more beautiful because we can create that window, okay? It's the same principle, maybe a little bit harder. With this one, it just feels, more safe to do. Good. When I do it, I do find myself changing a little bit of my hand movement, okay? So, as you know, I don't hold the nunchaku like this, which is what I call a very solid grip. I go more for this one, where I have more control with my index finger and my thumb, which I call the screwdriver stance, because you hold it a bit like a screwdriver. I notice that when I have the chance, for example, hand trolling, then going down with a, horizontal figure 8 hand troll, ending here for this trick, then I do get a little bit more, I switch position, sorry, a little bit more to the balance point, so right here, yeah, it's moving. Okay, so, and that's logic, because this is a point where you have the most control, because as I said before, like, you have to do this subtle movement, and it goes very quick, and then you sort of, your hand also hovers around it, because you want to stay close to the nunchaku, same with just that basic aerial. You don't want to keep your hands like this unless you do a sort of style element for demonstration reasons. Also with the outside or the inside out, you want to have it close to the nunchaku. The same here, where you just go like this. All right, so show it from the side. So you go like this, so you make a bit of speed. So you go backwards, where you hit a sort of a dead point, as I call it, like you feel like this is not the farthest you can go, it feels very natural to stop here. You take like 0.3 seconds, and then you make speed to a certain point where you feel like you have the most, where it's most comfortable to, where the most space to actually release this one. You cannot elevate too heavily, or you will hit it still against the under part of your arm. Okay, so you come from the side, you make space, and then you actually stop and lift off at the same time. When you do that, it might seem, and sometimes maybe subconsciously I do that, I also push a little bit with my thumb, because holding it in the screwdriver stance, going horizontally, that here, I push up. Okay, so you get rid of this. Like this. All right, I would say try it out. And if you have a various sets of Nunchaku, I would say mind the total length of stick connector in between to make sure you have this extra space, at least in the beginning, if you're going to try this trick out, okay? What I also subconsciously do with this trick is, for example, when I'm in position, you don't see that well, but with my legs open so I can move well, have my mobility, that I sort of like, move like this, for a style element, but also to create the most space I can have and also put my feet together, to get sort of balanced in the center. While with this one, the inside out, I notice that I don't do that, okay? I think the reason why I do that is because also with this trick you can go, for example, to very easy 360, where you're actually gonna step in already, do it then, and catch the Nunchaku like this, okay? So step, spin through, and there you have your 360. So also something to try out. Good. I hope next time the weather is better, so I can go back outside, and the slow motions will be there as well. But for now, zero gravity, outside, in. Let's try that.